Welcome, everybody, to Catching Up with Ketchum, Pokemon Journeys, Episode 6, where we are reviewing Season 2, Episodes 4, 5, and 6. Just in case that wasn't confusing enough. I'm your host, Rory, kind of, and here's my kind of co-host, AJ.
Hello.
And yeah, we're going to review Episodes 4, 5, and 6 of Season 2. So, let's get to it.
Let's do it.
So we start out at Professor Cerise's lab, and it's kind of a cloudy, windy day, and Ren, the lab assistant with the Magnemite shirt, is walking around, and he's hearing bumps and stuff, and he's getting scared because if you remember, he was the one that got super haunted by Gengar originally. So then Ren gets scared, so Ash and Go run to his rescue, and they get excited that Gengar's back because they are going to race to catch it, which we knew from before. And then we get the coolest intro of the entire show so far. Usually the intro, it just shows, or not the intro, the title screen. Usually it just shows Pikachu with Ash's hat on its tail. But this time, it's Gengar's face, and it's all creepy, and then it says, a chilling curse. Like, the narrator's all creepy and everything. So, it was cool. They hadn't done anything like that before, like messing with the title screen, so.
Yeah, I was, like, very excited for you when I saw that.
It was cool. A chilling curse. So, then Krissa, I believe her name is, right?
It is Krissa.
Krissa and Mr. Mimey are being haunted by Gengar as well. And Ash and Go show up and they're like, what happened? And Mimey like mimes out everything that Gengar did. And he's super pissed that Gengar broke his broom. He's not happy about that. Mm-hmm. So Gengar's looking on, and he looks super cool in his invisible form.
We can't skip out that, like, Ash knows everything that Mr. Mime is saying, and then goes like, okay. and everything.
Yeah. Ash has been around Mimey so long that, yeah, he just knows what he's saying. So Gengar's, like, chilling invisible there. And Gengar looks pretty cool when it's in its invisible form, I have to say.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, you get that clue again that Gengar is not liking the attention that Ash is, like, Pikachu and is getting from Ash. Mm-hmm. Like, there's something there with, like, it doesn't like humans and trainers, or it's jealous, something like that. So a little fight breaks out between Gengar and Pikachu, but it's pretty quick. No, unless you have something interesting from that fight to say.
Yeah, I mean, when Ash showed, like, dominance, when he was like, wasn't it that fight where he was like, just stop?
I don't remember.
Okay. It's like when he's throwing the little balls, right?
Is that when Pikachu catches all of them in the Electro Web?
No.
No, I think that's later when he's attacking that person in the street.
No, it was in the house.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then Ash yells, just stop.
Yeah. And Gengar disappears into the house.
Yes. I do have that here. It says there is a little fight, but Gengar dips.
Yeah.
So we find out that the person who sold Professor Cerise the building that the lab is in, told him that the place is haunted. Mm-hmm. And Professor Cerise is basically like me and was like, that's cool, I'll stay here. So so he buys the place, and he literally just bought it because he thought it would be fun to live somewhere haunted. I love that that's his reasoning. It's just like, I thought it'd be fun.
It was pretty great.
Yeah. So then we get a couple scenes of Gengar like trying to mess with Professor Cerise. It like picks up like half his papers and puts them on the ground, and like Professor Cerise just like does not care. He's like, well, these papers don't belong here.
Or the
door. So we found out Gengar just stopped haunting because Professor Cerise was boring. Like he wasn't giving him the attention he wanted. which I thought was. I really like the Professor Cerise stuff in here. I thought we got a good view of his like goofy, like
just
chill
like
side.
who he is as a person.
Yeah. So Go tells Ash, like Ash is like kind of scared, and then Go tells him it's the curse of Gengar, and Ash like starts crying and freaks out. And then Ash starts acting super weird. Ash gets these like purple things under his eyes, and then like he drinks water out of a flower vase.
Yeah,
and
he
at this
tripped
point,
before that too.
Yeah, and at this point I'm like, he's haunted, like he's possessed. Because like he's got purple stuff under his eyes. I'm like, Gengar is possessing him somehow. So, but Ash is just like, no, everything's normal. We're fine. And then he's like, I'm going for a run because this is weird, and that'll clear my mind. So he goes out for a run, and we get a view that Gengar is like hiding in Ash's shadow while he's running away. And like as Ash gets further away from the lab, Gengar kind of starts freaking out that he's leaving the lab. So, but Gengar looks really funny in these scenes. He's just like this blob coming out of Ash's shadow, and he's just like,
it's pretty great.
And so Ash runs past Team Rocket, of course, which is only the second most convenient thing he runs into on this run of his, because then he collides with another trainer who just so happens to be Gengar's old trainer.
Yeah.
Like, just out of the blue, runs into this dude, and not only runs into him, but then they like have like a conversation that's like so ridiculously pointed at Gengar. He's like, I thought I ran out of luck when I got rid of that Pokemon 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, they really are ham-fisting this in here. So we get a flashback. Gengar's old trainer is a total jerk.
Yeah.
Like, so he was like, oh, I was possessed. So he took him to the building where the lab is now, and is just like, I'll come back for you.
He's like, don't leave.
Yeah,
which
like,
in
don't
turn, you find out that's why he's freaking out, because he's leaving.
Exactly. And you basically get these shots where at first you're seeing days pass. You're seeing like morning, night, and then Gengar finally is like tired of standing outside, so he goes inside.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get a couple more seasons, and then eventually seasons start to pass. And then some, like a realtor shows a lady the lab or the building to buy, and this is where Gengar first like knocks a vase to the side to scare them away, and they run off. So this is kind of where you learn. Am I missing something?
No.
Oh, you were just like,
you don't know what's about to happen.
So yeah, knocks the vase aside, and they all run out. So then more seasons pass, and it's really sad. It's like
very sad.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, I don't know. I felt really bad for Gengar.
Yeah, 100%. It was very sad. Very sad episode.
Yes. And there's a lot of episodes like this. I know you haven't seen the old episodes, but like this is how Ash got his Charmander. Like his Charmander was abandoned by its trainer, and like Ash finds it like on a rock with like a giant leaf. Are you getting a phone call?
No.
You too important for us, AJ?
No, my alarm was going off for me to take my medicine.
I couldn't hear it, so but like Charmander, like when he finds it, has like a leaf like covering its tail so that the rain doesn't put its like tail fire out. And like that's how Ash gets it, is like he goes through this whole thing about confronting its old trainer and everything and gaining its trust. And I believe he does the same thing with Chimchar and Sinnoh too. So this isn't the first abandoned Pokemon that Ash has befriended. So so while we're getting this flashback and everything, Gengar is like getting more, and like we come out of the flashback and Gengar is pissed.
Yeah.
Like
it's like, it's like the animal rescues and stuff like that, and then like you go to like the animal shelters, or like like an animal that's been abused, and like it sees its owner that's abused it, and it's just like pissed.
I've never seen anything like that. But
Well,
that's
yeah.
that's very sad.
Hmm.
Yeah, no. Gengar, like AJ says, is just like super mad. And just starts like throwing shadow balls directly at the dude. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, get him, Gengar. Like,
Yeah.
mess him up. So Pikachu protects the trainer. This is where I think Pikachu catches all the shadow
Yep.
balls in the electro web. And even now the trainer's like a total jerk. He's like, I don't want you. Like, he like basically is like shit talking Gengar. And like even Ash and Go are like, dude, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Like, chill.
It's like, you caught the Pokemon, like, learn how to use it.
Yeah. So Ash and Go, they decide to chase Gengar to, try to cheer him up a little bit. So they chase him down. But before they reach Gengar, Team Rocket catches up to Gengar. And they're like, you want a job? Join Team Rocket. And I was like, man, there is another world where Gengar's like, yeah, I'll join Team Rocket and just be a jerk. But Gengar doesn't. They're like, Meowth, what's he saying? And he's like, Gengar said like he sees right through us and he's not doing it.
It was great.
Yeah. So James like catches Gengar like Ghostbuster style in like a vacuum cleaner with like a proton pack on his back.
Yeah, it was
and
pretty
this scene
great.
is like super funny because it's like a glass cylinder and you just see like Gengar just like
pissed in it. Yeah.
So they start to walk away, and then all of a sudden you hear, and Pikachu hits the cylinder and frees Gengar. So Ash is basically like, Gengar, you want to team up to take out Team Rocket? And there's like a minute of like hesitation, and then Gengar's like, let's do this. So they summon the capsule machine, and this time they get 2 Dusclops out of it.
It was pretty sweet. I like the animation for it.
Yeah, it was just a cool, and like they even got like the little spell tags off of them too.
Yep.
So it's like a double battle between the 2 Dusclops and Pikachu, but I'm gonna tell you right now, Pikachu does nothing during this fight. Pikachu gets hit by an ice punch and starts to get frozen, and Gengar basically like saves it by using Shadow Ball and it cracking the ice.
Yeah, but at first it looks like Gengar's attacking Pikachu.
Yes, but Gengar's sweet boy. So then Pikachu does nothing else the rest of the battle.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it is Gengar. Gengar gets into like, the anime thing where like 2 beams are hitting each other and they're like trying to overpower each other. But so Gengar's doing it with 1 Dusclops, and then the other Dusclops starts to use it, and then Gengar shoots another one out of the other side. It's like holding back both of these Dusclops by itself, and then it just like turns it up to 11 and blasts both of them
away. Like
just done. And then they fall back into Team Rocket, and then Gengar sends them all blasting off with a Shadow Ball.
Which was cool because it wasn't like Pikachu doing it.
Yes, Pikachu was useless in that fight. Gengar did everything, and Gengar seemed super strong too. So
yeah, which is good.
Yeah, I was excited. I was like excited. Ash has some cool Pokemon so far. He's caught a Dragonite and a Gengar.
Which is really funny because it's the 2 Pokemon that Go has like really wanted and couldn't catch.
Yes. What's just like, listen, Go, you catch everything else. Let Ash catch some Pokemon. So Ash then gets the little purple things under his eyes again and passes out. So then he wakes up at Professor Cerise's lab, and they're like, oh, you passed out from exhaustion. And I was like a little confused at this part. I was like, wait, I thought the little purple things meant Gengar was possessing him? But then he gets the little purple things. I guess he was tired from Gengar doing it before? I wasn't picking up what they were putting down with this scene.
I don't think he was ever really possessed. I think it just meant that Gengar was like cursing him, basically.
But then why would he drink the water out of the flower vase?
I don't know. I mean, he was like normal. It wasn't like he was acting like a demon or something. I don't know. Like he did drink out of the vase, but like he still was like coherent.
Listen, I'm not expecting, Pokemon to go exorcist.
Well,
And
yeah,
like
but it would have been he wouldn't have
Ash
acted
be
like
like tied
Ash.
up and be like, oh,
No, I
but like
mean like if it for me, if he was like possessed in a Pokemon anime, I would think he would have acted like Gengar, and he didn't act like Gengar.
I don't know. I thought it. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought he was like, well, how would a curse make you drink out of a flower vase?
It makes him act stupid.
Well, anyways, we find out this time Ash passed out from exhaustion. This part was stupid to me. But anyways, we get to a cute part now that he's back. So then Ash is like laying there and he just gets like doinked with an apple. And they're like, what was that? And goes like, I think Gengar is giving you an apple to keep the doctor away. And then a Pokeball then gets thrown at Ash. And so Ash knows Gengar wants to be caught by him. So Ash does catch Gengar. Also, Ash has a sweet Charmander shirt during this scene.
I didn't notice
And
that.
then yeah, and then so Ash catches Gengar, and then Gengar dumps like 100 apples on him, and they're like, "I guess he's just trying to make you
Is
feel
there
better." Quicker."
like is there something that I'm missing from here? Like, is this something that's normal with Gengar, or like what's up with
No,
the apples?
it's a pun of like an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So he dumped like 100 apples on him to make him better quicker. Like if one apple keeps the doctor
I get
away,
that, but yeah,
no, there's no like connection of Gengar to apples other than they were making this an
Okay.
apple a day keeps the doctor away pun. That's what this whole scene was for.
Okay.
So then we end up on a cool shot of Gengar back on the top of the roof like he was before. But this time, instead of looking menacing, he's like happy and is eating an apple. So
yeah,
Gengar's happy now.
he's a happy boy eating apples.
Yeah. Although you'd think a ghost wouldn't have to eat, but that leads us into episode 5 of season 2, Kicking It From Here Into Tomorrow.
Sorry.
Are we boring you?
No, I just am, you know, a yawning person.
So we start out. Sorry, I have to keep closing that door. So we start out. Ash and Go are having a Pokemon battle, which we haven't seen many battles between them. Not too many. So they start out battling at Scorbunny and Pikachu, but then Darmanitan that he caught at the desert place, he shows up and starts like using his fire attacks, and they're like huge fire attacks. And then basically at that point,
What's going on over there?
so I'm trying to like close that door by pushing it, but Dutch and Bosley keep opening it.
Just close
But
it.
I think Frankie just came and closed it. So thank you. So Darmanitan is like shooting off fire attack. And basically they're like, oh, it wants like Scorbunny to use a fire attack because all we've seen Scorbunny use so far is like double kick and quick attack and stuff. So Scorbunny comes over and like starts like cracking all its joints. It's like, oh yeah, it's about to let off a fire attack. And then Scorbunny goes, poof, and this tiny little ember comes out. And it's like the funniest scene. Darmanitan is literally just staring at him, is like, and then just loses it. And Scorbunny is like crushed.
Yeah.
It like cuts out Scorbunny. He's just got like the crying anime eyes. He's like, and don't worry, that is the episode picture. So you're all looking at that right now. It was great. So Darmanitan like loses it. And Scorbunny is just like trying to use Ember and it's not working.
Yeah. And
then Chloe shows up for her only appearance in these episodes, which, come on, Pokemon Journeys. So Scorbunny is trying to use Ember, and like Ash and Pikachu are trying to like coach it to use Ember.
Yeah.
Like they did with Dragonair and
typical
Dragon
fashion.
Dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even Chloe's like, what are they doing? And
It goes like, I don't know.
yeah, he's like, I think he says something. He's like, they're trying to help in their own way. And Chloe is literally just like, this is so stupid. Like, this is dumb. So go tell Score Bunny, like, dude, you don't have to use a fire type move. It's not that big of a deal. But he's kind of being like a jerk about it.
It's not really in that fashion. He's like, if you can't do it, then who cares? Basically.
So
or like, just give up. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Go is kind of a big jerk in this episode.
Yeah.
This is Jerky Go in this one. And so, yeah, he's just like, Score Bunny, you can't use Ember. Like, just stop. Like, just use Quick Attack. It's fine. And Darmanitan is, like, still messing with Score Bunny. And so, I think... Oh, no, that's later. So, then Ash says what we all are thinking, and he's like, Chloe, you should come on Pokemon adventures with us.
Isn't this when they're eating? And he's got like a piece of bread in his mouth.
I think so. It's either that or before that.
When was it where Darmanitan is like, he goes under like the bridge and he's just like laughing at it?
That's before.
Okay.
That's like during this scene where I just wrote Darmanitan is egging him on still. So yeah, he's just like still just losing it. So yeah, and Ash is finally right for once because Chloe should go on their adventures, but she's still doing that thing where she's like, nah, I don't care about Pokemon adventures.
Well, she was like, is it really that fun?
Yeah. And then she's just like, nah, like I'm good.
I think she's like fighting it. I think she's just confused. That's what I hope for.
Sure. I just want more of. I just want to be in it more. So
yeah, I do too. So you're not alone.
Yeah, maybe we'll get more later. So Score Bunny, they all start having lunch, and I'm sure this is the part where Ash has the bread in his mouth. And Score Bunny skips lunch to practice its Ember, and it finally like uses a little like.
It's a little flame.
Yeah, it's bigger than the little glow it was getting.
Let's put it this way. It wasn't like a little glow. It was like literally like in anime fashion, just this like little defined flame that comes out of his mouth.
Yeah, exactly. So Score Bunny is like excited that it finally kind of used Ember. And so it runs off to go show Go and Ash. But they really just kind of ignore Score Bunny here. And they were being jerks to Score Bunny. I don't like it. They were just ignoring it. They like run off to do something. I don't even remember what they're doing. I think they just are like goes like, oh, I catch Pokemon. And Score Bunny's doing that thing like it was back on the train when they were in the wild area and just like trying to get their attention without getting their attention. So we end up on a park bench where Go is like sitting there, and then we see a Pelipper on the other side, and Score Bunny's like, and then so Score Bunny ends up trying to use Ember on it, and it gets away. Mm-hmm. And Go is pissed. A super butthole about it. Like, so he's like, why would you do that? Like, and he's really annoying me in this episode. I don't like him either.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize, this is something, I didn't realize till later that this was the Pelipper that brings Team Rocket its capsules.
Yep.
Didn't realize that till way later. So.
You didn't see the thing in its mouth?
Didn't pick up on it here. I was like, there's something in its mouth, but I can't tell what it is. And I was like, oh. So, then we cut to James. He's like being all cool. He's like got like the anime glasses where the shine is on him. And he's just like, he goes into like a telephone booth and he pulls out the phone and he hits a couple buttons and it's like James Bond style, like opens up and goes down into Team Rocket's secret base. Mm-hmm. And the scene is like played all cool and like Team Rocket is like all menacing and everything. And then at the very end, he's like, yeah, I got the chips we all wanted. And it's just like completely broken.
Yeah.
So this is where we we get into like the weirdest scene of any of these episodes, in my opinion, where Team Rocket, they're like, let's play a game where we just list evil things. And so like they're going around, and Jesse, James, and Meowth obviously speak, so they're like stealing candy from kids, and then Wobbuffet's just like Wobbuffet, and then like they keep going, and then Jesse, like, you could tell Jesse doesn't know something to say, and so she's like, how do we even know Wobbuffet's like really saying anything? And she's like, Meowth, you're the only one who understands it, and Meowth is literally just says, nah, Wobbuffet's cool,
Yeah.
and then Jesse tries to come up with something and she loses. It's just a really weird. It's a weird scene.
I mean, I thought it was just a Team Rocket thing. You know, it worked for them.
I liked the
opinion.
Wobbuffet stuff.
Yeah,
it was funny. It was just a really weird scene. So then the Pelipper ends up at the phone booth where the secret base is. And Go follows it in there, and like it's at the same moment that Team Rocket's coming up, so like Go ends up on top of them, and this is where I realized that it was that Pelipper that brings the capsule. So Team Rocket then uses the capsule to pull 2 Pokemon. They get 2 again. These episodes they get 2, unlike the 1 they had been getting for a couple episodes.
Yeah.
So, and this time they pull a Poliwrath and the Choodle from the first episode of this season, or the last episode of last season, and that Choodle is so cute.
I thought it was funny because wasn't it Jessie? She was like, I remember that.
Yeah, I love that it's the same Choodle that they caught.
Yeah.
So. But it's super cute. I honestly, when I played the games, I was like meh on Choodle. I was like, eh. But here, like, I really saw how cute it is because like it's so tiny.
Yeah.
So
you didn't think that in the season finale?
Yeah, I mean these episodes, anime episodes, are when I like started to realize that Choodle was super cute.
Okay.
Because I didn't think it was that cute in the games.
Yeah.
But I also didn't know it was that small because. There's not like a size reference for
it's just the sprite that's there.
Yeah, like it looks normal size. So like I thought it was like this big, but Choodle's like this big.
The little turtle.
Yeah, a really small turtle. So then Go and Score Bunny start to fight it, and Choodle like shoots water gun, and Score Bunny tries to use Ember. And again, it's just
we can't forget the fact that they are like, all right, what is it, water gun or whatever it is, and you're like, this is about to be hilarious because it's not going to be that strong, and then it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like a hydro pump instead of a water gun. I love that when you say we can't forget, basically means Roy didn't put that in his notes. We can't forget the time. Well, AJ, I sure did. I didn't put it in my notes. So
it was hilarious. How could you forget about that?
It was hilarious. I did put Choodle is actually super strong and unleashes a huge water gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love that. That's like the tagline of this series is, well, let's not forget.
You know what time it is.
You know what time it is. So Score Bunny just gets like blasted. And
it was supposed to use quick attack, or no, it was supposed to dodge it.
Yeah, but it just gets leveled.
Well,
I think because
it tried to it ignored Go and tried to use Ember, and the little thing came out.
Yeah, and it just gets wrecked. And Pikachu and Ash are there, and Pikachu just like sends Team Rocket blasting off at that point with like one Thunderbolt. So
like usual.
Score Bunny, like usual. No Gengar this time. So Score Bunny is annoyed because Go keeps telling him, you don't have any fire moves, just give up. Like, you're never gonna make it. You're a failure. Just stop. And Score Bunny gets so mad that he kicks Go for once instead of Ash. And And Scorbunny runs off because Go's being a jerk, and Scorbunny has every right to run off in this situation.
And kick him.
Yes. And so Ash tells Go, he's like, you and Scorbunny, like, are not working in sync. There's, like, you're not working as a team.
Right.
So
he basically, like, explained the feeling of, like, how it should feel. If it works.
I don't remember. How does he explain it?
I don't know. It's basically like you have butterflies in your stomach or something like that.
Yeah.
And Go's like, I've never felt that. And he's like, well, you suck.
You're a terrible Pokemon trainer, Go. So, because you're too busy throwing 1,000,000 Pokeballs at every Pokemon you see. So, they end up catching up to Scorbunny, and like Scorbunny's just like mad and just like kicking stuff, and it kicks a rock, and you see the rock like heats up, and there's like steam coming off it. Or smoke, I should say. And then Scorbunny runs off for like the third time this episode. But this time it runs into Team Rocket.
Go had seen that and was like, oh, like I was wrong. He can do a fire type move. And then he picks up the rock and is like, Scorbunny! And then Scorbunny just runs away because he's so mad.
For like the 1,000,000th time, Scorbunny runs away. So Scorbunny runs into Team Rocket again for the second time this episode, and Jessie freaking has Choodle biting her hair and just whips Choodle into battle off her hair, which I thought was cool. So Go tells Scorbunny, like AJ said, there's a fire type move that it can use, and it will show him. So they kind of do a couple attacks at each other, and then Go finally uses Scorbunny to use Quick Attack in place. And so it uses Quick Attack in place, and its feet get all, smoky. And then Go throws a rock, and he kicks it, and that's like his version of Ember, basically. And it's at this point a certain glow comes off of Scorbunny, and Scorbunny evolves into Raboot. So it then uses Ember again in that same way and sends Team Rocket Blast.
Yeah.
And Raboot is cool, but I am going to miss Scorbunny. I'm not going to lie.
I'll miss Scorbunny.
Raboot's cool, but Scorbunny's adorable.
Yeah.
So I will miss Scorbunny. So Go tries to go give Raboot a fist bump. It's like, good job, buddy. And Raboot just like blows him off and walks by. And this is where I'm wondering, so to bring it back to Ash's Charmander, when it evolved into Charmeleon back in the day, it stopped listening to Ash and like didn't all the way to, and then it became a Charizard that didn't listen to Ash. And like Ash even lost the Indigo League because Charizard, like, it was in a fight and it was just like, nah, I'm good. And yeah, it takes a long time for Ash to get Charizard to listen to it. And I'm like thinking if this is that same situation of like it evolved, so now it's not listening to Go because I'm too strong for you now.
Yeah.
So
I was wondering what was going on.
Yeah. So this leads us into season 2, episode 6, Destination Coronation.
Say that one more time.
Destination Coronation. Okay, so we
sounds
figure
like
out
a
that
song.
What?
Sorry, it sounds like a song.
Destination Coronation. So we figure out that more than 10,000 trainers are entering the World Coronation Series that Ash is supposed to be entering.
It's like trying to be a YouTuber.
No comment. So they're basically like, Ash was like, oh my god, this is going to take forever, but I guess I just better start doing it. So Ash decides he wants to have his first Pokemon battle to raise his rank. Gengar's there, and Gengar is excited to battle. So then I think Krissa, tells Ash, like, hey, a quick way to go up the ranks real fast is to beat somebody that's like way over your rank. So Ash basically picks a trainer who I think their rank is like 3,000 something. And it's the substitute Vermilion City gym leader.
Well,
So,
he wanted to battle Lieutenant Surge, and then because he was like up in the ranks, and then they were like, he's on vacation right now.
Yep. Which we did get acknowledgement that Ash had fought Surge in the past, so
Yep.
we're still doing that thing where we're acknowledging the past, but only the parts we want to. So we do get a cool scene where it shows like all of the Kanto gym leaders in silhouette with the badges around them.
Yep.
So I'm hoping we get more of them in the coming episodes. I think it's cool that we can get Ash like rematches with like gym leaders from his past and stuff, because we find out it doesn't matter if you're a gym leader. Like when you start in the Coronation
You're
series,
at the same level.
Bottom rank. Like you have to start from the bottom and work your way up. So are you okay?
Start from the bottom. Now we're here.
I hate you. Why are you the way that you are? So yeah, we get that cool scene, and then Go runs off to catch a spear. So Ash and Go like run out. Ash is going to go fight the person who is taking Lieutenant Surge's place at the Vermilion Gym, and Go runs off to catch a Spearow, and Raboot is still not listening to him. So
has a super Naruto run too.
Yes, very much a Naruto run. So we cut to the gym where the substitute gym leader who Ash is supposed to fight is fighting a Hypno. And I did have to point out here, you don't need to tell me, I don't have it in my notes, that this gym leader has a sweet ponytail that ends in a giant electric plug.
Good job.
Giant one. So at this point we find out that their name is Visquez, and she is the backup leader. She has a Raichu just like Lieutenant Surge, and she wrecks this dude's Hypno.
Wasn't it trained by Lieutenant Surge too?
We find that out later.
Okay.
Yes, that this Raichu was specially trained by Lieutenant Surge. So, and this is where we get a cool scene. They're like, "Oh, Visquez, you're done for the day." So that's it. And so they start like lifting weights, and the Raichu's like lifting weights with its tail.
Yeah, it was great.
Awesome. So Ash shows up to challenge Visquez, who accepts. And this scene is cool because Visquez is like, I never would have expected the challenger today. Are you okay?
Did you forget about the scene where like he wants to fight him, and it's like they're like, somebody's here, and then he goes to Ash and he's like banging on the door. He's like, fight me, basically. I thought that scene was like really funny because I was like, really, like you're at this giant stadium and you're just like, fight me now.
Just shouting at the door.
Yeah.
AJ, you have to say your patented catchphrase. Let's not forget when Ash gets there. So yeah, Ash is just like, fight me! And this scene's super cool because Visquez like knows who Ash is. Visquez is like, I never would have expected it to be Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town. And Ash is like, you know who I am?
He's like, who the fuck are you?
So Visquez is like, I know all about you from Lieutenant Surge. And we find out that Lieutenant Surge, after Ash beat him, told all of his trainers about Ash, who fought him super well. So we don't get a ton of background on it, but yeah, that the Lieutenant Surge stuff from the first season is really cool. There's like this basically like Lieutenant Surge's Raichu is like way too strong for Pikachu, and they get like wrecked by Lieutenant Surge the first fight. And then like there's this whole part of like Ash and Pikachu contemplating Pikachu evolving, and then like Ash is like, come on, you want to evolve? And Pikachu gets like super mad at Ash and is like, I don't want to evolve. Like, no. So
I thought it was really cool the way that they gave it. The way she like explained how Lieutenant Surge was talking about Ash and Pikachu, because it was like this guy and his Pikachu are fucking insane, basically.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a really good job of like that split second like flashback of like the fighting and stuff like that. I thought it was really
Don't
cool.
worry, it's the episode picture, so they're all looking at that right now.
Okay.
So, so Go ends up showing up to the. Visquez is like, yeah, I'll fight you. Like it was
Yeah.
that was supposed to be the last fight of the day, but yeah, I got you.
Well, she
So
wanted to have another fight
yeah, and not to mention, she's like, I want to like fight the famous Ash and Pikachu.
from Pallet
So
Town.
yeah, so Go shows up and is like, I caught the Spearow, and then so like him and Raboot go up to the stands to watch, and we learn it's going to be a 2v2 battle. So you know what that means. No Dragonite this episode because it's gonna, of course, it's gonna be Pikachu and it's gonna be Gengar. So, but Dragonite kind of had its moment in the desert episode. So, it's Pikachu and Raichu right off the bat. And we start out, guys. This is where I'm going to be describing a Pokemon battle. So I am going to do my best, but bear with me. The most of the rest of this episode is a Pokemon battle. So we start out with a Thunderbolt showdown between the two. Just like the Thunderbolts hitting each other. Not much comes of that. So Raichu then uses Volt Tackle, and Pikachu uses its tail to try to basically conduct the electricity into the ground. Which in the flashback, I don't remember the battle with Lieutenant Surge. I haven't seen it since I was probably like 10. But in the flashbacks, it implies that's how Pikachu beat Raichu, was like conducting the electricity into the ground, which may be how it was done. I just don't remember.
How dare you?
Sorry, you've never even seen the show, so I don't want to hear it. You had to ask me if the Pichu from the first episode was Pikachu, so I don't want to hear it, AJ.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well they can all go back to episode 1 and watch you go, is that Ash's Pikachu?
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know, man.
So this is when we learn why Raichu has been doing that weightlifting, because it wraps its tail around Pikachu and just starts swinging it around.
Swing it around.
Swing it around.
Damn. I want to be a cowboy, baby.
So Pikachu comes back at it with, I think, a Thunderbolt. But Raichu, so it uses a Thunderbolt. Visquez tells Raichu to use Reflect, and then we get a huge explosion, and there's like dust, and you're like, wait, did it work? And then when the dust settles, Raichu is completely unaffected because it used Reflect. So
Ash it's like Pikachu staring him down. It's like,
yeah, he's
how
just like,
dare you?
He's like, come at me, bro.
You think I'm that weak?
Catch me outside. How about that? So Ash was like, Pikachu, come back. Like, this isn't working. So he sends out Gengar.
Boy, bye. What? Boy, bye.
So Gengar comes out, and Raichu's trying to hit it, but Gengar's just like phasing in and out.
It was really cool.
Then, yeah, and so Gengar uses Ice Punch on it. And then Raichu tries to respond with a Volt Tackle, but when it's like Volt Tackling at him, Ash has Gengar use Psychic, and it just like picks up Raichu while it's trying to run and just slams it against the wall. And that's the end of Raichu. Raichu goes down. And this is where my mind started to be like, oh, I don't actually, like, we don't know what Visquez's next Pokemon is. So I was like, that's going to be cool to figure out. So, Raboot, this is where we get a shot of Raboot, and Raboot seems jealous of the fight that's going on. Like, it wants to fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Go is going to get into a situation here where he's going to have to start battling, because I don't think Raboot's going to take this whole, I just want to catch every Pokemon, because Raboot seems like it wants to fight.
Yeah, he's like, try me.
So Visquez sends out her last and next Pokemon, which is an Electrode, which she calls her secret weapon. And so immediately it uses Magnet Rise, so parts of the floor start coming up, and they're all like floating in midair. We learn that this is how Visquez deals with ground types, because she's like, people come here ground types all the time, thinking they're going to beat us, and this is how we take care of it. So uses Magnet Rise, and then it starts just like pinballing off of all of the rocks that are hanging in the air and just slamming into Gengar.
Yeah, and if you remember in the very beginning, they're like, why are there like dents all over the place in here?
Yep, they showed just like dents, and I didn't think anything about it at the time, and then it cuts back to it, and that's why. So Electro's just slamming into Gengar over and over again, and Gengar catches it with Psychic like it did Raichu and tries to throw it into the wall, and it hits the wall. This is where we learn about why there's dents in the wall, and Electro does not care. Electro's like, I'm cool. So Gengar then, Electrode uses Discharge, and that's the end of Gengar. Gengar gets KO'd. So,
poor Gengar.
Yes. Well, Gengar took out Raichu, so. So Pikachu goes back in now, and Electrode starts using Rollout, and I had bad flashbacks of Whitney's Miltank in our Crystal Nuzlocke. Don't like that. So, Pikachu starts getting slammed around just like Gengar was, but then Ash tells it to basically get on top of Electrode and use Iron Tail. So Pikachu kind of starts controlling Electrode with it, and then Pikachu sends it flying into the wall. And it hits the wall, bounces off, and then Ash has Pikachu use Iron Tail from above to slam it. So he slams it down, and then Electrode's ability activates Aftermath, which, if you don't play the games, Aftermath basically means Electrode explodes. What?
Would you like to explain to everybody what happened?
What?
You don't remember what happened with the Miltank?
Whitney's Miltank destroyed my entire team except my starter.
And
literally, my starter.
Why did you have such a hard time?
Well, it was a mix of her Miltank being BS and using Milk Drink over and over again and rolling. And maybe because I didn't have my Geodude that I was going to use because I accidentally blew it up. I accidentally used self-destruct in a battle. Hey, look, everybody. Bosley's here to visit.
What up? What up, Bosley?
He said, what did it do? He watched these episodes with me, so.
Dutch is like, I'm my dad, so I'm in bed.
Oh my god, is that Dutch behind me?
Yeah.
On the bed?
Yeah.
He looks creepy, honestly. Aftermath activates. They didn't accidentally select it like I did. Aftermath, so it goes to blow up, and Pikachu uses Electro Web, and I wasn't sure if I thought Pikachu was wrapping Electrode in it to like keep the explosion, but when the dust settles, Pikachu actually covered itself.
It looked really cool. That animation looked really cool.
It did. So because it exploded, the match is over. Pikachu is still up, so Ash wins. And this is where we find out that Ash's rank went all the way from like 10,000 something to 3,000 something. And then you find out that Visquez's rank fell, but it doesn't show us what it is. Right. She just like looks at the phone and is like, oh my god.
They're like, how did this happen?
Yeah, and that is actually the end. I should not have let Bosley in here. That was a mistake. That is the end of these episodes. So what did you think? What were your opinions on these episodes?
I thought that I thought they were good.
I also thought they were good. I thought so. Watching the first episode with Gengar, it just solidified my opinion that episode with Chloe did not need the Gengar side plot in it. Everything with Gengar could have been fit into this one episode.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like the first episode, other than just being like, there's a Gengar that haunts here.
I think
like,
they were trying to use, though, was they were trying to get the fact that she needed to get Yamper to fight.
I know, but I don't know. Like, it could have been anything else. So
you're like, how dare you use Gengar to get the views away from Chloe?
Yeah. It just solidified even more that because this episode, the Gengar side was way better than that episode.
Yeah.
So, overall, that was my favorite episode of these three.
I would have to agree with you on that one.
I don't know which I preferred between the last two. I'm not sure. Which one did you prefer between the last two?
So this is why I kind of like was standoffish. The last two were a bit fillery-ish, if that makes sense. But if I had to pick one, I would pick episode 3.
The gym one?
Yeah. So, the third episode, which is episode 6. Yeah.
These episode titles are getting confusing.
Yeah. But it's just why I thought it was like cool that it introduced the way that the battling works and everything like that. And then, yeah, I thought episode 5 was just very, it was just like, it's like watching anime and you get a filler episode. So
yeah, and it's kind of so like, and it's trying to have its cake and eat it too, because it's a filler episode, but they are including like major plot points of like Score Bunny evolving.
Mm-hmm.
But like the rest of the episode, it just like I felt like I kept seeing the same thing over and over again. I just kept seeing Score Bunny try to use Ember, it not working, it gets upset and runs off. Like we watched Score Bunny run off like 3 times after Go is a jerk to it. And it's just like, and then not only that, then like they send Team Rocket flying, and then not even 2 minutes later they run into Team Rocket again. And I'm like we just sent you blasting off again. Like you didn't blast off very far, huh?
No.
And like it's not on Team Rocket. It's just like the first encounter with them just felt like, why are we doing this? Like, I don't know. That episode felt very repetitive to me.
Yeah, it was a filler episode, but with important information. Bosley,
can I help you?
Thinks the same.
Yeah, Bosley didn't like that episode either very much. It's probably one of my least favorite episodes of the show so far. I may have even liked the desert one more, if I'm going to be honest.
I did, personally.
Yeah.
But...
So, I really liked the Lieutenant Surge stuff from the third episode. And I really hope we do get to see, like, gym leaders from the past show up more. Because Vizquez was cool. Like, I didn't have a problem with Vizquez. I just would have been super excited to see Lieutenant Surge.
Would you?
I would have.
Like, how excited?
Can I help you? No. Okay. Would have been very excited to see Lieutenant Surge.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
The first episode was like up there with some of my favorite episodes of the series.
Yeah.
And then the second episode was one of my least favorites. And then the third episode was like right in the middle.
Okay. So if you had to give it a 1 out of 10 for each episode, what would you give it? Episode
the first
4. 1 out of 10.
9.5.
Episode 5.
5, 6, maybe. Probably 5.
And episode 6.
7.5. I felt kind of like episode 6. Kind of felt like the Lance and Leon fight to me, where like it was really cool to watch. Like I really enjoyed watching it, but it was just like, yeah, I just watched a battle for like most of the episode. So, which is fine.
Yeah.
It looks super cool. I think it also loses a bit because I'm taking notes while I watch. I feel like I'm not like gripped into the battle as much as.
It's like trying to watch subbed anime.
Well, yeah, because I'm like, and I'm like, hold on, pause. I need to write that. Okay, we go back on. So I feel like the battle episodes lose a little bit for me because I'm like trying to do a play-by-play of the battle. And I feel like if I just watched that, I probably would have liked that episode more. Same with Lance and Leon. I probably would have enjoyed that even more if I wasn't trying to make a play-by-play of it.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like, I get it. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. So, what about you? What would you rank those? Episode 4?
Episode 4 was a 9.5. Episode
5.
5 was like a 4.
And episode 6.
Episode 6 was like an 8.
Okay.
For me. I liked a lot of the stuff that happened. It was like, you got a battle, but like there's important things as to why they were battling. If that makes sense. Yeah.
No, it does. I liked everything before the battle. And I liked the battle too. Just hard for me to get excited about it when I'm writing. But you know what? I'm gonna say an 8 for that episode too. I'm gonna keep in mind the battle stuff, and yeah, I would have liked that episode even more. So I think that's it on this one. Everybody, make sure you watch episodes
7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9
of season 2.
Of season 2. Where we will record episode 7 of Ketchum. This is why, when you asked me last week why I was doing episode 13, 14, and 15, was because I was hoping to avoid this. But Netflix has screwed us on this one. Yeah. So, watch episode 7, 8, and 9 of episode 2. Make sure you leave a like if you like it. Let us know your favorite part in the comments and subscribe for next week. And yeah, we got other videos coming out too. So
we do.
We will see you all next time.
What are you going to be opening tonight?
Oh yeah, this goes up on Saturday. You confused me. I will be opening 5 packs of Dream League and 5 packs of that little box behind you, Miracle Twins.
I'll be opening 10 packs of this.
10 packs of Miracle Twins. So, yeah, I'll be opening Miracle Twins for like the next month. So get used to it.
I'm not complaining. So.
No, I'm not either. I'm excited. So it'll get us to battle styles. So, well, all right, everybody. We will see you next week. Hopefully, we will get another cool opening like a chilling curse. See ya.
Bye.